Welcome, gods and goddesses, creators, to All Things Spirituality with yours truly, Maria Palomino, a sacred sanctuary that speaks the unspeakable and lets you in on the secrets of spiritual awakening. Introducing self-discovery, soul awakening tools that helps you remember your soul's true purpose to start manifesting a conscious reality. Every soul is unique, meaning no spiritual path is the same. Feel every conversation and let your mind, body, and soul guide you to what is unique to only you. It is the soul's resonance of remembrance. Now, take a deep breath, drop into your heart, and let us begin, beautiful souls creators. Hello, beautiful souls. In this episode, I sit with my beautiful soul sister, Karin, who is a Kundalini activation process facilitator known as KAP. She is one of less than 100 facilitators in the world. I love KAP. As an energy healer that channels energy from the highest realms of the universe, KAP goes hand in hand because it's also a transmission that is powerfully activating. The transmission is based on the principles of Kundalini energy, also known as life force energy, and non-duality. I've been loving KAP so much that by February 2022, I'll also become a KAP facilitator, and I'll be training directly with the master and creator of KAP, Venon Wong in Costa Rica. So stay tuned, sign up to the email for some activating retreats that are coming up, online virtual transmission. Karin and I are actually planning of doing a retreat in our homeland of Peru, bringing it back to our roots, a sacred land of Peru. My actual first experience with KAP was in Tulum, Mexico. And as you can see in the video, your body starts moving as the life force moves through your body. For me, when a Lakshmi song started playing, my whole body started dancing like a Hindu goddess. My hands were doing mudras, which are hand gestures, bending my fingers to positions that I can't do otherwise. In other KAP transmissions, aside from the usual body movement, I've traveled in time and released much emotional pain. It's very unique and different for everyone. Some people outburst in nonstop laughter that is contagious, and others have the longest, most powerful orgasms in their life. So you never know. Every time is very unique. Well, let's begin this episode, beautiful souls. And don't forget to subscribe to receive your latest dose of heart-opening medicine. Welcome, gods and goddesses, to All Things Spirituality podcast with your host, Maria Palomino, myself. We have a beautiful guest today, my beautiful sister, Karin, who's going to be speaking about Kundalini activation process. It's a modality that if you haven't heard about it yet, I feel like it's going to be the next yoga, the next strength that's coming up, and it's so healing in so many different levels. But before we do that, let me read you a little bit about Karin Nunez de Fleurquin's background. She is a Kundalini activation process facilitator from Lima, Peru, living in Belgium. She's one of only 86 KAP facilitators in the world that was hand-selected by Venon Wong, who is the creator of the KAP modality. Her passion of guiding humanity to their higher selves through KAP has taken her to Mexico, Spain, USA, Egypt, and next back to her homeland in Peru. I love you, my fellow Peruvian spiritual sister. It's a pleasure to have you in this platform, All Things Spirituality. Thank you for being here. How are you?
Thank you, beautiful sister. I am the one who's grateful to be here in this beautiful space of yours. I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So I would like to be sure that we're dropping into your hearts, tuning in very quickly. So I invite you to bring both your hands to your heart. First your left hand, your right over your left. Close your eyes. Bring your gaze to your third eye, the point in between your eyebrows. Just feel your breath. Be conscious of your breath, the breath of life. Taking a deep breath. Hold and breathe out twice through your mouth. Letting go of everything that we already used. One more time, taking a deep, deep breath, make it bigger. Filling up your tummy, your rib cage, your lungs, bringing down your shoulders. Hold and breathe out twice through your mouth. Releasing, letting go, replenishing. Let's drop into our hearts so that we may provide content that is going to help people become more higher conscious and remember their true essence, their true purpose of being here on this planet. And for our listeners to receive and to question. We're here for you. Love you all. Thank you, Karin. Well, let's start off and tell us, what is Kundalini activation process? Tell us all about it, please.
Well, first of all, this is the way how we actually begin with this modality, the same as you just have started this beautiful space. It's going to your heart, being open for energy, being open for your truth, and expand this unconditional love who everybody has got in this beautiful heart of us. So by being open to energy, it's the only thing that we need to do KAP, Kundalini activation process, because Kundalini activation process is it's a modality. It's something that you don't need to know before or to practice something to do it. So when you are open to this energy with an open mind and an open heart, you surrender to this. KAP, Kundalini activation process, was found by Venant Wong, our master. He is a Chinese living in Australia. He was teaching martial arts, and he was always having this, like, yeah, I really resonate with his life before, because I was feeling that, well, I probably, if we were talking with the other KAP facilitators, they probably had the same. He was always having this effect on people, knowing or unconsciously doing something with them without that he was knowing, like a kind of exchange of energy. And that's what actually KAP is. It's a transmission. It's not a lesson or something that you teach. It's a transmission. You have
What do you mean by transmission, so the listeners can understand?
a transmission is like really like you put on the radio and you put on some music and you have the receivers. So those people who are come to a session and they are like laying down on the floor on a yoga mat, opening their hearts and minds to receive this energy, those are like, yeah, the receivers, and we are the radio transmitting this life force energy, going through them and opening this, activating their kundalini. So I'm gonna be, maybe it's too abstract, I'm gonna be saying this better in another way. So logistically, a KAP session is 2 hours. So you
2 hour
invite,
KAP session. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
The first half an hour, I will explain what CAP actually is. And then we got 1 hour of a transmission of this energy. And afterwards, people can share what their experience was. Now, it's difficult to talk about it because CAP, Kundalini activation process, it's something that you need to experience
Yes, it's
because
all
it's
about the
really,
experience. Yes, with
yes,
anything, right? With anything that people get into. Don't
yes,
believe it till you experience it.
yes, I
Be
really,
open to it.
yes,
Yeah.
be open to it. But yes, people, yeah, you need to sell it. You need to also attract people and you need to convince people to come. And you have those two big groups like the believers and the non-believers, and those are mostly the groups who are going to attend. So basically, if you have the non-believers, they are even more easily to like come into the CAP session and lay down and surrender to this process because they don't have already something, a pattern in their mind. So they are really like
Love it. They're just
a
open because they don't know anything, right?
yes, they are a clean canvas and they are just laying down and they are like, come on, okay, put it on, put
Yes.
this new music, and they are like really like expecting nothing. And that is what we need. People who are not expecting nothing. Because CAP, Kundalini activation process, it's a process of surrender. And what I mean with process is because the session self is not the most important thing, it's just an activation. It's after the session who people are going to integrate this new energy and integrate what happened during the session. So
So it's not
maybe
important what happens on the ground, it's what happens afterwards. Is that what you're
after,
saying?
yes,
Okay. But a
afterwards.
lot of, I mean, it's very interesting to see what's happening in that room during an activation process, and everyone's processing so different. So regardless of
Yes,
how they're receiving it, the most important thing is afterwards.
yes, and while maybe the listeners are listening this, they are maybe asking themselves, what are they actually talking about? Because
Yeah.
give them a kind of samples or like more concrete things, like to tell what can happen during a session. Well, I can tell, but again, everything I will say, this is a possibility to happen, but it needs to be no expectation.
Yeah. But let's
Because
share that. Let's share like what are some of the things that happen. I think people, and I think
yes,
sometimes that what brings people in because I
of
think
course,
it's like, oh, I wonder how I'm going to react, and my body
absolutely,
going to be shaking and moving. Am I going to be crying? So,
absolutely,
what what
absolutely.
what usually happens during an
So
activation process?
So, as you know, every space and every time is unique,
Yes.
as and every single people, every single person is also unique. So that's the thing that it's going to to be and to be special, and that's why every single session is different. But what may happen is that you are going to feel the energy as such, like really on your body, like electricity or like little bugs running on your body. Maybe you're actually gonna feel. I might touch you here and there. I'm there to hold space. I'm walking through people logistically. People are lying down on the floor on yoga mats. I put some music. This is the music. I could do it in silence, but the music is also nice because when there is a group, um, yeah, there could be sounds or people moving, and um, the best is to have some music on the background to like be relaxed. And so I'm walking through the people, and I might touch you here and there where the energy. needs me to touch you. But some people feel, they feel like me touching you with both hands, but then suddenly they feel a third hand. And and some people hear me on the other side of the room while they think that I am touching them. So the energy can be really touchy, like that
Yeah.
that you feel the energy really on the top of your skin, on touching you. You also can feel like kind of rising energy from, yeah, through your body. In a moving of the movement can be up and down, or everything that depends on your level of consciousness. So what also may appear are emotions. These emotions could be can they can appear, and you may feel the need to cry.
Mm.
You may feel the need to open your mouth and scream. You may also laugh hysterical.
Hysterical
um,
laughing. That happened
this
to one of my
this
friends. She
yes,
couldn't stop
this
laughing.
could these can these can be very contagious as well. You have sometimes you have a whole class laughing,
Or it
and then
can make people piss off too, right? Depending where they are
yes,
and
but
what they're processing.
that's exactly what it need to happen then.
Correct. Yeah.
Like every session is different, every single group is different. So you create a microcosmos, a little group of people, bunch of people who are connected with each other because of the session, and something beautiful and unique is created that time on that specific time and space. So yeah,
If I could
um,
share, when I first did CAP, my fingers started doing all types of different
mudra.
positions and mudras that I had never done before. And they always, there's always different type of music that's playing through different traditions, ancient traditions throughout the world. And then I think it was a Lakshmi song that came through, which is the goddess of fortune from India, from the Hindu um, lineage. And then I was doing mudras, like hand positions that I had never done in my life. Have I seen them? And second, like I could not replicate if I wasn't going under the cap tradition. And that was crazy. And then I started dancing, even though I was on the floor, like a Lakshmi goddess. And ever since then, I feel my every once that I dance, like my fingers want to go back to that mudra, and I feel like it's opening channels. Because you also study yoga, each channel represents every planet. When we're in the mother of the womb, our fingers go are in our head, right? So we're connecting. So each finger also represents different parts of our brain, and those are connected to the planet. So I feel like it's also an activation that keeps on going. Something is awakening through that
Yes, it's
one
amazing.
process.
It's amazing what could happen, and this is what are you what are you talking about is very technical, and it's a kind of like activating this memory, this cell memory of ancestors or knowledge that you have in your body, like in your genetical core. But this is very technical,
I
and
love it.
yes, appear, but not always. These movements can appear, but these movements can also be very kinesthetic and um, very raw, like very shaking, very spastic as well. We sometimes see those movements as like, yeah, you see it in the animal world, like when a lion um, when a zebra tried to escape from a lion, and she doesn't, and she suddenly like tries to go away, and this shaking of this trauma, like that.
Yeah, shake it off.
I
Yeah.
I often see people shaking that way, and it's really extremely spastic. But it needed to, yeah, those are like stuck emotions or traumas in this tissue of your body, and it needs to be shaded off.
Yeah.
So
So people are
Yes,
releasing all this emotional blocks, whether they're shaking it, whether they're dancing it off, whether they're crying, they're laughing. It takes them to different places. Where I
yes.
feel like it's been common, if people have whatever alter state they've had in the past during Kundalini activation process, it takes them to that point usually, and they start off there. I guess it depends where they're at or how their body. How can people prepare? Is there anything that they can do before to have a better session if they're going to do a Kundalini activation process session with
Well,
you?
there is nothing that you need to prepare. You could like there are two very but very important things that you can't do, and it's taking drugs, alcohol before your session. So I really I'm very clear of that. Um, it's
And
as
be
simple as that.
specific, because people always ask, is wine and alcohol?
Well, no, the best is to come to a session without no eating at all, like fasting. And this is actually the best for all energy modalities and all kind of drinking alcohol and taking drugs is a no-go. It's the same as yeah, going for a marathon and going for this. Yes, it's the same. It's the same. We are going to in a session, in a KAP session, we are doing this energetical marathon.
An energetical marathon. You don't want to drink
So you are
alcohol
not
before
gonna
running a marathon.
you're not gonna yeah, you're not gonna go and doing this having a piece of cake in your belly and a spaghetti bolognese and having and two glasses of wine and some drugs on the top.
Yeah,
You're not going to do that. You're not gonna be able to run it. You're definitely maybe going to be able to do it, but yeah,
yeah,
not consciously. KAP, it's all about opening and gaining more consciousness.
correct.
So be conscious about the way and in the state that you are coming with your body, with your soul, and with your mind to this session. So I will suggest better not to eat at all. If it's in the evening, just eat something light at
Yeah,
noon and drink some water, herbal tea, no coffee, no alcohol, no drugs, and be just aware of taking your body with an open mind and an open heart to this session and see what happens.
yeah.
Well, continuing what may happen is also something very, very nice and very amazing. It's that the ability to see things and you're like these visuals coming up. It's also something that gets activated during the session.
Are you
People
talking about
are
your third eye?
yes,
Ooh,
people report yeah, seeing geometry,
sacred
colors.
geometry. Yes. Oh,
Yes, they report seeing traveling,
out to the cosmos, to the moon.
yes, or seeing faces they know, or even seeing faces they don't know. Um, this beautiful, yeah,
So definitely it sounds like DMT is being released, it's being created. So
yeah,
the pineal gland must be
it's
working and
activated.
activating.
Yes, yes, there are lots of things who are being activated that maybe for the first time, the first session. That's why we recommend to do this at least 3 times,
Yes.
because the first time it's gonna be something new, and we humans, we are always yeah, we need to do things several times to like remember or
It's
like
a
recover.
muscle, right? Just like the pineal gland, the third eye, we have to work our third eye.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So the first time it's something new, And even there are people report they report headaches, but these headaches is actually not a headache.
Oh, what is it?
It's like our body our body is seeing this as headache, but it's actually something new happening in our system. So the second session is going to be like a like a yeah the continuing of this story. And the third time it's gonna be like more like this aha effect, like, oh, there we are, now we are getting this, and yes, we are opening this consciousness and we are awakened.
Okay.
So this, it's
So
something
you
very
for someone that has never had any type of alter experience or experience any type of energy at all, then you recommend 3 sessions. So whether you don't feel like you received anything on the first session, something's still happening, and then by the third session, their pineal gland and the DNT gets more activated. So it sounds very much like a third eye activation.
yes, there are people who are, yeah, there are 10% of people, 10% of the people, there are still people who are not so sensitive to this energy or this modality, let's say. But they are feeling less during the session. But then
Oh,
let's talk about after the session,
after the session. Okay.
because they really, lots of lots of people are telling after the session like major changes in their lives, like they haven't feel something during the session, but then after the session they are in the supermarket shopping, and
Mm-hmm.
suddenly they are like changing 180 degrees. They are not eating any, consuming any animals again, no alcohol, and they just they they run into the veggies and they change their way of living, or they
That's
quit their job, or they suddenly there is a problem who is just like, yeah, solved in a minute, or they are gaining some clarity. They take time to cross a street to just like smell a flower.
they would have never bothered to stop to look at the
Never bothered to
plants or
stop to
smell the
smell a
roses.
flower. So it's like those little things that I invite people after a session to see. And this is consciousness. This is gaining like more sensitivity for the feelings, for your spirit, for this consciousness, for this life that we have inside of us, for this kundalini, um, what we have inside of us. Because kundalini, yeah, another word for life force energy, and and the Indians call it that way. The Chinese call it chi. You have
Yes.
prana, life force energy, vital force energy, all the same.
Yes.
This kundalini energy, it's very strong, but mm, this kundalini can be also very subtle. This kundalini energy is also the force, or the force who is doing a flower opening herself. So it's
It's
very
that
subtle.
coil, right? It's
Yes.
coiling very slowly. You don't think it's moving, but it's there and it's working.
Mhm.
It's doing its work, literally
Yes.
spiraling.
Yes.
Wow. So the question that I'm sure everyone's asking, so how is it possible that, all of a sudden people are just laying on the floor and you just start walking around, you play some music, and everyone starts, either crying, shaking, moving, laughing hysterically. That happens during the moment, and then afterwards they're having, this life changing events and occurrences that are happening in their life. So what are you doing? Really? How is this possible?
I'm interacting with this space of people who is in this unconsciously um, space of these bodies, of these people lying down on the floor, surrendering to what? To an opportunity to open up, to feel. And because we are all energy, this is a way to interact with each other. It's a universal communication, something like that.
Okay.
It's a transmission. It's like me being a gigantic needle, like the acupuncturists put some
Acupuncture.
needles on
Yep.
acupuncture, put some needles on a body. I am like a gigantic needle being a channel for this life force energy, and transmitting this to everyone who is in the room and open to it.
So what's the difference? So you're connecting to source. So what's the difference with KAP and, let's say, Reiki? Well, what they call Reiki, it's energy healing, right? Reiki is just a modern term.
The difference, well, I did Reiki 1, 2, and 3, but I'm not a master, so I couldn't like be the right person to like to tell specifically. I'm not the right person, but I think that KAP, the difference is because of Reiki has more this pattern. KAP has no pattern at all. KAP is raw. KAP is raw energy, and that's the way I like to do it. And I'm the only I feel so much doing this because I am there holding space, taking care of everybody. But while I am doing that, I am a channel of raw energy without any opinion. I'm not sending this energy to specific spaces or places, or like directing this to a specific
And you're not
problem.
necessarily doing any types of symbols to open up or anything, correct?
Yes, and that's what I mean with a pattern, like really with some symbols, or with an opinion. This is really like no opinion at all. This is raw. This is like like somebody who's listening to this music, and it got you in the heart because of your own experiences. So everybody is going to make or feel something else because listening of this music.
Correct.
So this is very unique, and this is raw energy. I am neutral as I can be on that time. That's why, as a KAP facilitator, we are very responsible. We need to be responsible about our own channel, and to send this raw energy out of our bodies to the room, to the people.
And what do you mean when you say you have to be responsible about the energy in your body? What does that really mean?
Because yes, when you are working with energy, you discover your abilities, right? And yes, I already experimented, like when somebody has a headache. Let's say that's a very good idea to tell, like a very specific example is like, okay, let's say you have a headache.
Yeah.
Yes, I could take your headache away very easily by putting my hands and like sending you this life force energy there, very specific, and take this and making you feel better. But this is an opinion.
However,
Doing this KAP during the KAP session, it's without any opinion. Everybody is the same. Even if I feel some things or I see things, I'm not gonna act as as God, or as a, or as somebody who is going to make decisions for them. No, it's universal force. It's them co-creating with the universe.
Mhm.
They are getting whatever they need to get, no more, no less, like only the thing, the code or the specific energy that they need to have. It's not me making a decision.
It's putting the ego out of the way. I love it. And I think that's what I really like about CAP. And it has really captured my attention. It comes from the same training of energy that I've been taught and I learned then, because there's so many of them, so many different types. It's getting out of the way, because we are trained that we want to help, especially as healers, we want to help others, and we see something wrong. So, we want to send that energy in certain places, but it's not what you want. It's, what's best for them, what's better, what higher source wants, what the universe wants from them.
That's
And
right.
for
That's
that,
right.
it takes so much discipline to learn that. And that's when training and practice comes through, and sharing, within community on how quickly. I mean, it's happened to me when I've done healings where I know I'm like, oh my God, I need to go to the heart. And I saw like my hand go right away. And then I just had to lean back and said, no, that's me, recognizing it right away. And then as soon as I recognized, like, all this energy came through, and it just started doing its own thing. But I recognized that it was my impulse, not necessarily what was coming through. And it's very subtle. So it's being able to recognize that too.
That's right. And you're talking about this ego thing. We are so, but so familiar with this ego, polishing our ego, trying to be what we want to be. People going to KAP sessions because they saw other people extremely moving, having orgasms, or like what they saw about it. They are like willing to feel what others feel, being what others are, and this ego thing. And this is just not KAP. KAP is surrender to the process, surrender what you really need to feel and to be, and not what you want to be. This is the main difference. Everybody, you might heard about, and the listeners too, tantra, qigong, tai
Yes.
chi, all
Mhm.
those energy modalities, yoga, all those modalities. They need practice, they need discipline, they need patterns, they need expectations, they need exercising. KAP is completely the opposite.
Raw is a
KAP
good
is,
word. That's what you
yes,
use. Completely raw.
yes. It's about no auto activation. So all those modalities, tantra, qigong, tai chi, yoga, even let's say in the daily life, we auto activate ourselves constantly, like having having our own sexuality, or like sports, or like singing, all kundalini activations. Working, like see a workaholic person, you are activating ourselves with something that we really like to do.
Yes.
But sometimes people are really exceeding and harming themselves and doing the opposite, as gaining more consciousness, because this body of us and this mind of us, this ego, is is yeah, it's not always so. KAP is about no thinking and feeling, like surrender. And yeah, one of the things that people like to feel during a KAP session, yes, it's possible to feel. And yes, there is a lot of bliss feeling and a lot of orgasmic feelings, because yes, it's yin and yang, and yes, it's sexual energy, and yes, it's this blissful feeling, because people are opening up for themselves, and You might feel like completely bliss all over your body, like making love to the universe, like every single
Oh,
cell
love
of your
that.
body is having an orgasm.
Yes.
Yes, it is a possibility, but please do not expect it,
Yeah, don't
because
expect that.
there you are, the ego again.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's very interesting because, yeah,
You
um,
get what you're supposed to get, however it is that you're supposed to receive it, and
yeah,
just surrender to that. And it's a process, of course. You do one session, do two sessions. And I'm sure people are getting interested and they want to know where can I find a CAP session? There are only 86 teachers around the world. I don't think everyone's active either. These are people that have been certified and gone through the training. Um,
yes. Venant is doing trainings. I suppose every years he's gonna do new trainings. And the more CAP facilitators, the
yeah.
better.
Like I'm in Bali right now, where it's a hub for all kinds of spiritual modalities that come through. There isn't a single CAP teacher here right now. Just pretty interested. I mean, regardless of the lockdown, you think there'd be at least one, but there aren't. So if people
It's
wanted to
because
do it, go ahead.
it's something new. I think Venant, he had his journey too of consciousness. He was also sorry,
Are you
he
okay?
was also gaining his own path, and he opening his own. At the beginning, he thought he was crazy. At the beginning, he was like also like searching for this modality and to making it like, yeah, what is happening to me? I have this effect on people, while he was teaching. So yeah, his journey, he had a journey too to
Did he
to
find another teacher or he just started, he created this on his own? And what guidance did he have?
he had a lot. He had of different masters,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That's
life.
important for the listeners to hear. It's true when you start listening to your path, think gifts are awakening on its own. It will start leading you, and you'll start seeking. Obviously, use your discernment. Always use your discernment. We keep talking about that. Um, but there are people out there that the teacher will show up, who's going to guide you, and if that's not meant for you, your own guides are going to show up, because you're creating it in a sense. That's what you're asking for. Whatever it is that you're looking for, that you're putting your attention to, that's what's going to show up. So that's key, very much key. I want to hear about your journey, Karin. Tell me the first time. Where were you? How did it happen? What took you there? And now this is your life path. So tell us about your journey.
One of my best friends, I'm always following her when she says like, let's go there, and I'm just like blindless following her. Yeah, one day she said like, would you like to come with me? You need to do 3 sessions.
Was this in
So
Belgium?
yes, here
Okay.
in Antwerp. um, there was this Dutch CAP facilitator coming to Belgium, and I said, yeah, why not? So my first session was only an experience in my. I experienced some constantly moving of my muscles in my belly.
Okay.
Strange enough, it was only physical and very very strange, but I was like really surrendering. I don't have a problem to surrender. So but I said, okay, let's wait for the second time, because this is really really strange. And I was like even thinking like, this is really expensive, just to feel
To feel
this.
your muscles move.
Yes, but yeah, at least I thought like, at least it's good for my belly. So um But then the second time, yeah, it was
What
mind
happened?
blowing. It was actually mind blowing. I traveled. I saw like a whole vision of what I was about to do. Um,
Ooh.
like traveling in high speed through cities and nature, and like lots of things that I already did last
Yeah.
year. So like a premonition, like seeing the future, something like that.
Hmm.
But at that time, yeah, I didn't knew that that was actually about to happen. But I had this major visual activity, like this third eye activated, um, and my body was also moving more fluently. But these visions of me traveling around the world um, was actually something beautiful, and something that I knew that it was my truth or something like that. Well,
There's this
I
deep
waited for
knowing with visions.
yes, and the third session was like an affirmation of this feeling that I already had, a kind of call, a kind of mission that I already had inside of me.
Yeah.
Um,
What is
of
it? Can you share?
Yeah, I always had a feeling of yeah, going on this journey, of this journey of opening my own activating my own conscious, uh, uh, being more conscious about my life while by traveling and talking to people, and like spreading this energy around, and I just started that. um
Good.
I call it, I even got a name, uh, but first, after the third session, 5 days later, because for me it was really tremendous. It was like a call, but this inner call that I was waiting for years.
Wow.
um 5 days later, I was with Venant, and I was doing the training.
Oh, it was that fast that you were able to find
For
him.
me, yeah, it
Wow.
was really like instantly. It
And there was
was,
an actual retreat where he was training people. Yeah.
yes, so the synchronicity was like bam. I i went there, I came back, and I stopped doing what I was doing before, and I just, yeah, it's like a non-stop. I just started it, and
And
I
then when
didn't
you go to
stop.
the training, I'm guessing you guys are practicing on each other nonstop. Like, how much is too much, or there's no limit of how much cap you can receive?
There is no limit, of there is also no, you don't need to actually, you need to feel when you when you like to,
To a
yeah,
cap
we
session.
definitely, yes, yes. But the more cap you do, the more sensitivity you gain, and like it's like, yeah, it's like a battery, let's say.
Yeah. And like you
um
said, it's like exercising that third eye, more DMT is opening up your
yeah,
pineal
i
gland.
i would i would rather say that it's not about how much cap do you do,
Okay.
but it's actually more about being responsible for the frequency that you are, and to keep this frequency.
Perfect.
Because in interaction to what you eat, what you say, from who you are, where you are, what's happening around you, we're in constantly change. So after a session, and also after a second or a third one, especially when people are like having these 3 sessions and like gaining and really like when you do it, you really know the difference by doing 2 or 3 or 4 sessions. These layers are coming off.
Yes.
Some people need more sessions than others. It's because we are all different and in different levels of consciousness.
Yes. And no one's better than other. We just are exactly
No,
where we're
no,
supposed
we're
to be.
just different. We're just
Yeah,
different. You have like different kinds of veggies. I'm always explaining that
I like
way.
that.
You have a banana. Yes, you have a banana and you peel it off in one single time and you eat it. You have an onion and you have different layers. So some people need more time and more sessions and other people less. So
More
when you
time and more sessions for what?
to
To
open to be there to have this feeling of a more fulfilled and conscious life,
mm, yes.
feeling better and feeling in balance. So when you feel that, when you have this aha, like I am here, I am awakened, I am balanced, I feel better, I have the less problems, I'm vital, I am happy, I am and I feel alive. When
Yeah,
you feel that, the thing is to keep it that this way.
correct. Yes.
So when you are immediately going to, yeah, you can really immediately break this feeling by doing, yeah, wrong stuff. So the responsibility is to keep this light, this keep this feeling, keep this frequency.
And it's not necessarily by continuing and going back and doing CAP, but just being more conscious, being more responsible. And
Correct,
that is the
correct,
awakening and the
correct,
tools that CAP provides for you. That's what
correct.
you're saying.
Yes, this energy, at least, yeah, this energy is working through, like for some people even 2 weeks after the session, for others a few days, but you feel it because, and we are like beautiful machines designed to regenerate ourselves. And
We're
when we
regenerating every single second. So many cells are dying.
yes, so
Thousands of cells are dying.
when we reach, yes, so when we reach a certain frequency of an awakening, of or of a of being conscious about something, you keep it you really can keep it this way when you are listening to your body and being kind to yourself. And this is our own responsibility.
Yeah, very
And
true.
yes, you could like increase these feelings by doing CAP once a month or once a week, or
Doing maintenance.
yeah.
Doing maintenance, see what you get called to do. So just switching gears here, tell me a little bit about Wong. Has he had any remembrance of him doing this modality that he's teaching now, maybe in other past lives, or can he identify with any other type of ancient healing modalities, maybe the Egyptians, or is this something completely new for him?
No,
What's the background?
no, that's something that he if he did remember something, he's the one, and that's why I love him as a master. He will never even tell this or like say this to us because he does not want to us to like put this in a kind of pattern or like um, he is as raw as the life force energy,
Oh,
and that's
beautiful.
why I love him. It's your
Yeah.
own. I think every single CAP facilitator, he's always saying like this, like you have different kinds of flavors of ice creams, and you guys, you are also different kinds of, every CAP facilitator has his own flavor.
Yeah.
But we need to be raw, we need to be universal, we need to be neutral. And yes, of course, we are humans, and we are so around the world and with different cultures, and it's really nice to walk around and to discover spaces and places and people and cultures where you might see like, this is like something, um yeah, similar, or like, yeah, this could be like something who they might be doing,
I mean,
have been.
ultimately, it's the same force. It's one, and they're
Yes,
just being different frequencies, like you said, different flavors, serving its own purpose for the time being of where we are now in the planet, right?
yes,
As
it's
the
all
Earth
about,
itself is in its own evolution pattern. Yes.
it's all about, giving you the, yeah, helping to build this new earth, and like gaining more consciousness around you, spreading the consciousness, yeah, little by little in your circle, at your own space, at your own time. Yeah.
Yeah. I took two friends to do a CAP session, and one of them had just and I always knew because her sign's also a Scorpio, so she has, you know, that very intuitive feeling, and she can go under your skin if she wants to. She can see right away through the dark, and she got very activated. And then when she went to Egypt, she just went with her husband, no specific, and not looking for anything spiritual. And she had activations happen for her too. And, really feel like, doing the CAP session really help awaken. But everything also happens the way it's supposed to happen. She was meant to have a CAP session, and she was meant to go to Egypt. So if you feel a calling, and there's an interest, the whole point of having this podcast, All Things Spirituality, is to introduce you to different platforms that are out there and see what calls to you, what resonates with you. These are all remembrance. Your being is trying to remember. This is why you're listening to this and seeing what resonates with me. Is it a CAP session? Is it light language? Is it Akashic records? Is it voice activation? Is it tarot card readings, or I'm going to start reading my own oracles, start doing dance, movement, yoga, meditation. There's so many different things, but people don't even know that any of this different types of tools are out there. And that's the whole point of bringing it out there. To me, CAP has been very special, and it's something that I do. And I love you, Karin, because obviously you're my teacher.
Mhm. Thank
So how can
you.
people come to you? And obviously with everything's going on in COVID, it's very limited. And I tell people, hey, you can do it online. And for many people that have never done CAP to begin with, or done anything energetic, they don't understand how they can receive the transmission online. Can you explain that to them?
Well, it's perfectly, you don't need to be as a CAP facilitator next to you to activate you. We don't need to be in your room next to you to touch you, to activate you, to like send you this raw energy, because we, um, while we are doing this transmission, we are doing actually two types of transmissions in one time. We are transmitting the frequency of the Kundalini, of the life force energy, together with this frequency of the non-duality. I will explain a little bit more. Let's say, the transmission or the frequency that I'm giving to you while I am doing the CAP session is to tune to tune in to feel like part of one big
Okay.
frequency of the universe. So this is the non-duality, like the being one feeling, the oneness. So if I'm in Belgium or in Egypt or in Mexico, and you are in
Bali.
in Bali, we are also affecting each other. While I am saying to
Yes.
you some beautiful words, or I'm doing something, yeah, saying you something really, yeah, not nice, I will affect you. It's
The
the
ripple
same.
effect. Yes.
It's the same. The thing is that yeah, I have this, and I'm so grateful to have this ability, and this beautiful teacher who showed me how to do it. um, yes, while I'm doing the KAP session, you will feel as the same as I am with you, maybe less powerful, but not because it's less powerful, but because in people's minds, because of this space, because of the distance, people will maybe
Block
feel less.
themselves a little. They block
Yes,
themselves a little. Okay.
yes, but actually it's quantum physics. It's something that, um yeah.
Let's talk about Bluetooth, right? So
Of
they can
course.
believe, if you can believe the fact that you can listen to music through your phones, and the music is being transmitted to your computer or the radio, whatever it may be. Why it's the same thing. It's energy. It's everything's electricity,
It's the
right?
same thing, and we are all connected. Call it Bluetooth, call it these energy spots. We are all energy generators. We are all transmitters. We are all receivers at the same time.
We
So
are so beautiful.
that's why we
Yeah.
need to be very responsible about what we say, what we express,
Yeah.
because we are really having lots of effects and causing so much damage.
Yes. Thank you for
Um,
saying that.
yes, we need to, and that's something that I
We're
really,
co-creating
yes,
consistently, co-creating,
we
especially
need
when people think, oh, I don't want to hang out with that person, or they create cliques and they're all, within the same community. It's fun if you see it from a high level because it's like little ants, right? You're in the little corner, but everyone is impacting one another, and the more you think, yeah, you're repelling yourself or hiding away, and that energy is strong because you're putting so much attention to it. So its ripple effect is actually stronger. But you trying to get away from that person, you're actually in a way attracting it more at the same time. It's when you let go and you release and you don't even think about it. That's when those waves of energy can just flow naturally and just go where they need to go.
exactly, and that's also the same with spaces, and that's something that I really cap. I cap made me travel a lot, not because um, yeah, my mission was like to spread the word, and I felt really this calling to, yeah, to go into to activate as much people as I could. But I had this call about also like being in some spaces that they were calling me, and those are also frequencies, and it's like the kundalini of the earth,
Mm,
like this this earth connecting with me, or like co-creating with me, or like sending these signals. And that's probably what happens also in Egypt. And so those, yeah, these bluetooths, what you like you are talking about, it's those energy centers. And but this could be for yeah, this is like you have these energy centers, but it could be also like Belgium for somebody else. But you need
yes.
to be open for it, and to listen to those places, to listen to nature, to listen to, yeah, to be present, to be. That's the most important thing, to be.
Yeah. And it's so simple, yet it's so hard for us to just be, right? And just as we are, as we've come, and accept accept us and accept everyone else for who they are. But I feel like one of the easiest things to do, and it's free, is go out to nature, be out in nature. Yeah.
Go out to nature. Why? Because all our system is is looking for that, because we are nature and we are stuck
Yes.
in our daily life in all those patterns, indoctrination. People, when the people coming to my CAP sessions, and I said like, okay, surrender you 1 hour of your time. Thank you for opening, for giving yourself this pure opportunity. 1 hour of no thinking. Come on. You thought you're gonna think this is easy for everybody, but it's not.
Yeah. It's like same thing as meditation. You think you can just sit down and not think, and it's
Yes.
hard.
1 hour. Come on. And it's not always happening.
Yeah.
But still, this surrendering process, it's needed, it's really needed. And sometimes you need, like, and I'm speaking about myself, while I was walking around, traveling around, getting out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
yeah, you gain more consciousness than ever, because you see everything from another perspective.
You get out of your
And
own pattern. It helps.
yes,
Makes
yes, it helps
sense.
a lot.
If not,
So
when you're at home, you have your routine and things that you do, and you don't realize it, but you're always distracting yourself. You know where to go. There's little routines that you've made up for yourself that, and then you're getting out of your comfort zone every time you travel, and your curiosity peaks, and that opens
yes,
you up, and it just takes you away from the old world that you were living in. That's
yes, and I can
beautiful.
imagine. I can imagine, of course, it's not easy, and I hear a lot of people, yes, but traveling around and it's not possible in my job and blah blah blah. Of course, I understand, and that's why CAP, it's something that is really coming in the right time, because people are rushing this in this Russian daily life, or having no time to exercise, to have this discipline and time, because time, they don't have time to do it. And CAP, it's really something very powerful and very easy and very fast to improve this consciousness, to be awakened, to like in a very very efficient and fast way. uh,
It's unbelievable, like how
yeah,
quickly
yeah,
CAP works.
it's so powerful and so efficient.
And even if you
uh,
think you didn't receive anything, like you said, it's the aftermath, and
yes,
yeah,
but
your
again,
body
you need to try
responds.
it. You need to try it, because it's really an experience. You can't put it in words, in the right
Yeah.
words.
So we're putting your website and your contact. Karin, Karin has sessions, maybe once, twice a month, that you'll have online in groups, no more than
Yes,
14, 20 people, right? So definitely
yes,
sign
I
up
do.
early when that comes up. And then she'll
Yes,
let you know if she's traveling and she's going to be in any physical location as well.
thank you. Yes, you can find me on escapismo.com. You can find me on Instagram as well.
Yeah. And I'll put
I
all your contact, yeah, at the bottom.
Yes, you can also go to the Kundalini Activation Process.com website, where you find all the CAP facilitators around the world. And
It's
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah. Well,
so
thank you,
yes,
Karin,
I get
so much. I'm so appreciative that for your time. I know you just got back from Egypt, and you
my
made
pleasure.
time to do this interview with us. CAP it's revolutionizing um, the world of healing. So many people have so many questions. A lot of teachers. I know, like a big breathwork teacher came in, and very popular, and he just could not stop asking how, but how is this possible? Because you do have many experiences during breathwork, but you're working for it. There's a lot of masculine energy going through. And for me, like, my job has been to do like a big, because I've lived in my masculine for so long, I'm learning to live more in my feminine. every day more and more. And that's what I love about KAP, is just surrendering and just let it flow. And that's how we truly receive. We receive when we surrender. And in Western worlds, we've been taught the opposite. We've been taught to receive by doing, and it's the complete opposite. So we are relearning right now, and KAP is a great teacher. So definitely highly recommended. Give it a try, give it a go. Like Karin said, if you don't have any expectations or any experience with energy healing, even better, because you're not making things up in your mind or comparing it to anything else. And yeah, get out to nature, connect with nature. That's always good. Remember that all we're doing is remembering and going back to our essence of who we are. And that's the whole point of being here. We're trying to live in the future, but truthfully, it's just everything comes from the past. Because the moment that you think about the future, guess what? That already happened, goes back to the past. So you truly just have the present right now. So let that sink in, and one day it'll make more sense. So I know you're feeling a little tired. Thank you so much for your time, Karin. I love you so much, my beautiful sister, goddess. You're so beautiful, and I love your work. And I know that when you do a session, you give all your heart and you put the ego aside and you just let life force, energy source, universe, whatever you want to call it, you just let it channel through. And I know you keep your body clean, and that's the most important thing. And you're very aware of what you bring into your surroundings, because we're absorbing absolutely everything, because you understand energy. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you. I love you. I honor
Love
you.
you too.
And I hope to see you very soon. Thank you for having me here, for spread the word. And yes, I'll let you know when the next session is.
Yes, we're going to put it out. Love you. Bye,
Love
honey.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, beautiful souls, for listening. Visit my website and subscribe to the monthly newsletter to receive information on upcoming online KAP dates and KAP retreats around the world and sessions. Take advantage, because it's going to fill up quickly, since there's a limit number of people to activate at once. Just send an email with KAP interest, and we'll be sure you're first to receive information on dates coming 2022. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive your latest dose of heart-opening medicine. Light and love.